but it does pertain to this rivalry. So the Land Grant Trophy, we were just talking with Jair. He said he loves the trophy. Not everybody does. You've played in, you've been a part of 5 land-grant games in your time at Penn State.
Yeah.
What are some of your thoughts on the trophy? Obviously, you love to win it, but just from like a design standpoint and the physical trophy itself, what are some of your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's basically from what I remember, it's kind of resembles a big block of wood. You know what I'm saying? But I think the game is much more than that. It's really about two programs. And the histories between us two. Battling it out. So, I mean, I'm all for taking that trophy. Doesn't look the best, obviously, in appearance wise, but obviously this game is really important for this team this weekend.
Go to John Petishnock.
Hey, Jonathan, good morning. Appreciate your time today.
Morning.
Hey, wanted to get your thoughts on how being a student athlete at Penn State has set you up for success beyond football, whether it's in the NFL or, kind of just as a businessman. Your bio says you aspire to be the CEO of a company. You're pursuing your postgraduate degree. How has being a student athlete at Penn State set you up for the next 40 years of your life?
Yeah, I would say that from a time management standpoint, being both a student athlete, has really helped as far as, managing my time and making sacrifices. Obviously, I can't do what a non-athlete, what many non-athlete students do. I have to, keep my time, keep my schedule in mind whenever I make decisions. And I think like I said again, from a time management standpoint, it's helped me. It's helped me a lot.
We'll go to Daniel Gallen.
Morning, Jonathan. Yeah, 6 years is a long time to spend anywhere, especially in college. When you think about when you got here, all those years ago to where you are now, what has that growth been like for you, and where do you feel like you're, maybe the most different?
Yeah, 6 years is a long time. I would say, if I were to compare myself now to when I first arrived on campus, I would just say really going back to, time management. I really learned, how to manage my time and, do what's best for me, make decisions that's best for me, and, things that would allow me to excel and obviously help me gain all my hopes and aspirations. So I would say time management, just managing time and being mature from that perspective.
Andrew Destin.
Hey, Jonathan, thanks for doing this.
No problem.
Tomorrow we'll get the chance to talk to PJ Mustipher, and given the time that you've been here and how much of it has overlapped with his, I wanted to ask you about how you've seen him develop really throughout his entire Penn State career, given the ups and the downs, and what you've seen from him this year, and maybe more so in the last few weeks, where the on-field results maybe aren't up to his highest potential, but what he's doing behind the scenes, or maybe some things that we as reporters might not see that he's doing to help the team out. Thanks.
Yeah, I would just say his resiliency. Obviously last year, he had a season-ending injury, and just to see his work ethic, his determination, and his attitude. He comes into this building every single day, and he brings juice to our program. He does whatever is asked of him. I would just say, just watching that, getting to experience that, it's been very inspirational. The game was taken away from him last year, and he didn't budge. He controlled everything he can control, and he attacked his rehab. He continued to be a leader for this team, and PJ is a guy who I have a lot of respect for. That's my brother.
Go back to John Petishnock.
Hey, Jonathan, we were talking with another one of your teammates just now, Jair Brown. He called you a friend. He called you a mentor. I'm wondering, how did that relationship grow between the two of you, and how have you seen him grow over the last 3 years?
Yeah, it takes a guy who came on campus and, he just put his head down and worked. I've always admired his work ethic, and then the way he goes about his business. He's one of the leaders on this team. He drives the culture in this program. And, that's my brother. We've been through this is our third season together. and we've gone closer each year, and obviously sharing suffrage during workouts, et cetera, will bring you close to teammates, and that's what it's been like between me and him.
Go to Joe Smeltzer.
Hey, Jonathan, you've been with this team as long as anybody, as long as any player. Has it hit you that Saturday is going to be your last game in Beaver Stadium? And if not yet, when do you expect that feeling to kind of sit in, like, wow, this is it?
Honestly, it hasn't hit me yet, but I think, when that clock hits 0 at the end of the game, that's when it's really going to hit me. That's when I think it's going to hit me, honestly.
Go to Max Ralph.
Hey, Jonathan, appreciate your time. So you were kind of that first person to take the number 0 jersey. I know we asked you a little bit about it last week. Curious what those conversations were like when the coaches gave it to you, and do you feel yourself training new people to take it over when you're gone?
Yeah, before I got it, I just handled my business. I just, I didn't really have it in mind. I was just coming in every day, working. Obviously, special teams has been a real important role throughout my career here. I've really taken pride in special teams. And as far as the coaches, I mean, they get together, I guess, later towards training camp and then make the decision. So it's not really, no athlete on the team is really involved with it. But there's a bunch of guys in this program who take pride in special teams and display characteristics like great work ethic, and are willing to sacrifice and things of that nature. So there's a few guys who I could definitely potentially see wearing the jersey next year.
Move to Johnny McGonigal.
Yeah, Jonathan, after a couple of, relatively down years for this program, compared to, getting 10 wins and New Year's Six Bowls and stuff in the recent past, how much would it mean to you and to the seniors and to the older guys in this program to, get a 10th win on Saturday and potentially return to those New Year's Six Bowls?
It'd mean a lot. Every person in this program sacrificed so much and, put in the work. And obviously this game this weekend is really big for us. It gives us an opportunity to capitalize and get a 10-win season. Obviously, hopefully set ourselves up for a New Year's Six bowl game. And, everyone's earned it in this program.
Sorry, folks. We'll move to John Padishnock.
Hey, Jonathan, whether it's next year or 5 years from now, when alumni and fans look back at you and your career, what do you hope that they think about you, that they say about you, and kind of remember about your time at Penn State?
Yeah, I would just say, people looking back that they would say, he's a culture driver. He's a guy that you would want in your locker room. He's a guy that, cares and loves his teammates and, would make sacrifices for the benefit of everyone. That's kind of a legacy that, I would like to leave behind.
Daniel Gallen.
Jonathan, you and Sean Clifford have played a lot of football together, but been here for a long time. What has stood out about Sean over these past 6 years, and what have you seen from him this year, as a sixth-year senior, finishing out his career?
Yeah, what's always stood out to me, about Sean was his work ethic, his competitive nature. He always comes into the building, ready to work, whether it's practice, meetings, film, workouts, whatever it may be. He's a consistent guy, and you know what you're gonna get from him. And what was the second part of that question? Sorry.
Just how you've seen him approach this final year, being in kind of
Yeah.
a similar situation to you.
Yeah, with the chip on his shoulder, obviously, like it was mentioned before, the past few seasons didn't go how it wasn't the standard at this program. It didn't go how we wanted to. So, this year was big, obviously, and we have a chance this weekend to capitalize on a 10-win season. So that's what we're working towards right now.
Go back to John Padishnock.
Jonathan, if a 5-star high school recruit, somebody who had 100 scholarship offers, came up to you and was asking you for advice about what college they should go to, what would be your response about, why they should choose Penn State?
Yeah, I would just say the family atmosphere at a program like Penn State. It's not like that everywhere else. We have people in this building who care for you, not just as a football player, but as a person. So obviously it's a great opportunity for someone to play big time football and get good academics as well, and be surrounded by individuals who truly care for them.
All right, we got time for 2 more, so we'll go back to Daniel Gallen for 1, and then whoever raises their hand next will get the last question.
Jonathan, going over to the special teams, a couple of the guys we're going to talk to this week are Chris Stoll, a fellow captain, and Barney Amore. What have each of those guys meant, to Penn State, and especially the special teams program? Yeah,
I mean, they both mean a lot. Like I said with many other guys, those are 2 guys who show up. They put their body on the line for the program. They drive the special teams culture at the school, and they work every single day. And those are 2 respected guys in this program.
All right, Joe Smeltzer for the last question.
Jonathan, if you could go back and tell your 2017 self one thing, what would that be?
What would I tell my 2017 self? I would just tell him, just to keep going and just trust the process. Just trust the process. Don't focus on the outcome, but trust the process. Be the best teammate you can be, and continue to just work hard. That's what I'd probably say.
All right, thanks, folks. Thanks, Jonathan.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks,
Thanks.
Jonathan.